Everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Well, here are two terrific ladies, and they're in a special project, which is directed by a wonderful lady who has basically been in The Pope's Exorcist, Midnight Mass, and The Haunting of Bly Manor, and also making the production debut is a wonderful lady who does voice work for the world of Warcraft, Grand Theft Auto, Black Dahlia, and also involved with Blue Caprice and a John Cleese documentary. And of course, just two sides coming together in Los Angeles. And they have an amazing movie called The Carnal Soul. And more about that live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Los Angeles. An amazing lady who was born in Dhahran, Saudi Arabia, daughter of a stage actress, and also a wonderful lady who happens to be her dad is a photographer for Sports Illustrated. So if you happen to pick up Sports Illustrated and you happen to see any Super Bowl pictures, you know who we're talking about. But this is all about the Carnal Soul. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got two wonderful ladies, both multi-talented, Alex Essoe and Alexis Iacono. Ladies, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Hi. Thank you.
What's great to have you on board, guys. So basically, you have a new movie out which tells the story of a guy named Mort, played by Bob Gunton, who's in the winter of his life and basically can no longer live with the weight of his regrets, and where every day is torture, living with an old betrayal, and later sets to make amends. It's called The Carnal Soul, and I'll talk about the experience as well, too. So Alex, you've been in The Pope's Exorcist, Midnight Mass, The Haunting of Bly Manor, and Alexis, you've been doing some voiceover work for World of Warcraft, Grand Theft Auto. You also been involved with Black Dahlia, Blue Caprice, and also a documentary by John Cleese, which is called Hacking in the UK. So basically, it's just doing some directing and producing debuts. And before we talk about The Carnal Soul and more, guys, tell us how you all first got started.
Well, I'll go first, I guess. I was born in Dhahran, Saudi Arabia, and we had one of the only movie theaters in the country and on the compound where we lived. My parents were working for Aramco at the time. My dad went there as a school teacher, actually. And my mom was involved in the community theater there. So I grew up going to all of her rehearsals and performances. She's a wonderful actress, but she was also a dancer and a choreographer, and she wore a lot of hats. So I was really kind of steeped in the performance arts, huge cinephile from a very young age, very obsessed with movies and the like. And then I started studying more formally when we moved to Canada, just before I turned 12. I started doing like on-camera workshops, and I did theater in school, high school. But then when I graduated, I started studying, more techniques, honestly, as many as I could get my hands on, to be honest. Storytelling was always a really big part of my life. In school, I would make shorts with my friends. I would write and direct theater. I was with the arts collective there. I would do performance art and stuff like that, which was just, it's fun. And then when I moved to LA, I put all my eggs in the acting basket for a while, and I feel very, very lucky to have worked with the people that I've worked with, who have really, influenced me and inspired me. And so, it was just time to start doing it, I guess.
Put on the director's hat and call the shots and everything. And what was it one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career?
I would say working on a movie called Dr. Sleep, which was directed by Mike Flanagan. He is a fellow cinephile, very also obsessed with movies, and not just the storytelling, but also the technical aspect, which is, I think equally as fascinating, since it's a visual medium. It's about how you capture what you're looking at, which is sort of different from theater.
Okay.
But so that aspect of it was really fun. So anyway, on my off days, I would go to set and just kind of shadow him and watch him work. And I learned so much just just, the watching him command a set and knowing what he wants. I learned a lot about cameras from talking to Michael Fimignari. And so, it was something that was always an interest of mine, but that was really a turning point where I'm like, okay, maybe I should really just do this already.
That is really interesting. Working with some great people like that. And who's some of your favorite actors and writers, directors, and producers growing up?
Growing up, oh my gosh. Well, my dad was really into samurai movies. So he would show us, like Seven Samurai and Yojimbo and
Ooh, samurais. I'm ready to chop somebody up. What do you think, Alexis?
Well, I mean, I come from a Jeet Kune Do background, so I sort of relate. I don't know about samuraiing anyone. I mean, I have a few people in mind, but I won't share with you here.
You're perfectly safe with us, but that's okay. Go ahead, Alex.
Oh my gosh, what was I even saying?
You're talking
Samurai.
about samurai movies, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, stuff like that, that was an early influence on me because I just love the drama of the way Akira Kurosawa films his movies. He's very good at the visual storytelling aspect.
Okay.
And also, another huge influence on me was Wayne's World. That's like one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah, my favorite. Wayne's World, Party on Excellent. Woo, boy!
Yeah.
Well, I'm sort of channeling. God, now that you say that, I'm sort of channeling Garth.
Yeah.
Oh, you're partying. You're partying on. Is that what you mean? Partying on? Is that it?
Wait, is it which one? Wayne or wait?
Garth. Yeah, Garth is the one with the glasses. Here.
Yeah. Here you go. Do.
Cool.
Yeah. So I think Penelope Spheris is a really excellent director. I love all of her work. Honestly, the more I sort of got more into exploring the people I grew up with and, what their influences are and stuff. So I mean, God, so many things. I mean, so many things have influenced me over the years.
Sounds like you got a great deal as well, too, especially in your directing debut. You will gather it all together. In the meantime, let's go to Alexis. You've done some voiceover work for World of Warcraft, Grand Theft Auto, also involved with Black Dahlia, Blue Caprice, and also the John Cleese documentary, Hacking in the UK. And your dad is a famous photographer for Sports Illustrated. And, tell us all about it and how you got started as well.
Oh goodness, that's a tall order. Well, I mean, we can go back to. I was very proud to pay for my parents' Hawaiian vacation at 10 months old because that was my first commercial. I was the first Purina Ralston baby actress. I played a little
Williston baby actress.
Yeah, I was a little actor. I was a little Native American Indian in a papoose. And Purina, if you remember, Purina was is dog food, but they ventured out to cereal or what have you, and that was my first commercial.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I started very young. I had a very different and eclectic background because of my father's line of work. My father came from the youngest of 5 in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, and while he was in his little, Lower East Side dirty Angels with Dirty Faces gangs, he would sneak to the Henry Street settlement, and he picked up a camera and he had this creative mind with a streetwise background. And his first cover was at 19 years old.
Wow.
He started working for Life magazine. He was part of the JFK Zabruta, carrying the Zabruta film over to the FBI and Scotland Yard. So he's had a huge life. And then Sports Illustrated for about over 30 years, covering about 40 years of World Series, Super Bowls, Olympics, you name it. And as I got older, even as a young girl, I traveled the world with my mother and father. I grew up an only child in Bayside, Queens, and mom was from Brooklyn. So I had the best of 2 worlds of, a wide range of education, culture, travel. And then I went to acting school. I'm a professional tap dancer, cellist. And my mom, who did not want to be a stage mom, was like, look, you don't have to go to acting school. You can do whatever you want. And I was, because mom said, you don't have to do it. I was like, well, I'll take 2 acting classes. So I went to Lee Strasberg. Carla Brothers was my first acting coach. She introduced me to the haiku world, and then branched out to Sandy Shurin, studied with her for several years. That class introduced me to Anthony Rapp. Anthony Rapp was the lead in Rent. So before Rent
Oh,
was even a
wow.
thing, he used to bring in, and you say, hey, can I run stuff by you? I'm doing this show. We don't know what's going to happen with it. It was Rent. So yeah, I mean, I did a bunch of theater, a lot of black box. I portrayed, my breakthrough was portraying Fay Ray as a young girl on stage. Fay Ray was the screaming woman of King Kong.
Oh, yeah,
And
I remember that movie.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yep, she was the director. Yeah, she was the director, and she was my director, and I knew her up until her death, and which led to, as an adult, a documentary called Long Live the King, with like major giants in the documentary, talking about how King Kong shaped their lives. Like, I'm blanking out on names right now, but it's called Long Live the King. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's, Peter Jackson's in it, talking about his work. Dana Gould, Frank Dietz was the one that directed it. I mean, it's a list full of people that I was very blessed to be part of. And yeah, I just always did movies. I auditioned, a lot of door slams in my face, a lot of, this and that. But I was always in it. And then, the horror genre sort of fell into my lap a little bit. And there's one thing about the horror crowd, they're very dedicated. So that's where the Black Dahlia came in. That introduced me to other portals. And by the time I moved to LA, which was 12 years ago, it wasn't even about me saying, oh, I'm in LA, I'm ready to be discovered. I was already a working actor. It was sort of a lifestyle change. And it wasn't until producing landed in my lap when I was in LA. I
wow.
didn't even think about it even in New York. I was an actor. I was, already doing different things. I was sort of planting the seeds, but I didn't know what seeds I was planting.
Hmm.
But by the time I moved out here, I was like, huh, that's interesting. I'm not worried about acting and all this. Let me just see where all this leads. And it just happened. And, cutting right to the John Cleese documentary. I have life rights to an informant called Dano Hanks. And Dano worked for Rupert Murdoch, and he was last year on the witness stand for Prince Harry,
Wow.
to defend Prince Harry. And Dano was part of the hacking scandal, and John Cleese was ballsy enough, because that's the kind of dude that rolls like that. He contacted Graham Johnson from Byline Investigates and says, I want to interview this Dano Hanks. And he said, I know the person perfectly who can produce this. And I got a call from John Cleese out of nowhere in the middle of COVID. It was 3 digits in Sherman Oaks, and I jumped up, because Graham did give me a heads up. He said, expect a call from John Cleese. And I was like, all right, what? And it happened, and the rest is history. It's a great documentary. We don't have it streaming right now because JC was just sort of like, we'll put it on Twitter and see where it leads. And it just,
Or-
it exploded. So I'm on a second doc with them now in development that I can't talk about.
Mhm.
And then I linked up with Alex. I've known Alex for 12 years. We met on a photo shoot for Fangoria magazine, and we maintained this friendship. And then cut 2 years later, which was only last year or so, she was like, do you want to produce this short film I'd like to direct? I said, absolutely. And here we are.
I can imagine John Cleese saying to you, and now for something completely different.
Yes. Yeah.
I should know. I've been a Monty Python fan since birth, practically, although he has a million ways to really irritate people, and I still believe on that, but I'm not irritating people right now. That's a long time.
Well, he
Oh,
certainly doesn't irritate me.
well, that's a good thing too. And of course, you also did some voiceover work, especially World of
Yes.
Warcraft and Grand Theft Auto. That has to be a big honor
Yes.
for you. Yes.
Yes, it was a wonderful experience. I started actually in Cataclysm, World of Warcraft Cataclysm, worked alongside with Blizzard. And I was one of the lead goblins, and then I wound up getting soon after World of Warcraft Legion, where I played Lady Hate Coil. And if you're a gamer, I was Kill Boss. So in order to get to the next level, you had to kill me, which was this Medusa type character with sort of my face. So it was
you think it's really cool, Alex, to kill off your friend like that in World of Warcraft?
I think it's the end of the world of Warcraft.
Well, you're talking to a fellow gamer, so both of us are secret gamers. So
I don't really have much of a problem killing.
We can turn this podcast into Twitch.
There you go, a gaming podcast, Discord, and everything like that. And I gotta say one thing: my two younger boys are into Twitch and Discord and everything else with all the podcasting. Nice. And I can see it now. It's like if you turn this over to Discord, it's like, you know, they'd be shooting the bad guys, Fortnite, whatever it is, and just all the things in the world as well too. And of course, you know, let's also mix in the movie The Carnal Soul as well. We'll talk more about that with Alex Essoe and Alexis Iacono. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SoundCloud Studios. Visit online at SoundCloudStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. SoundCloud Studios is the answer. SoundCloud Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@soundcloudstudios.com. Mention Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Malson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Malson-Zia, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those who love you to first go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Malson-Zia has garnered great reviews. In Evil Evidence enjoys by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassie, Forbes Riley, and Minutes. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mia Malson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com on our 40 podcast platforms, heard in 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, also Podbean, Pandora, Apple, Odyssey, and also follow us on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and follow us on all social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Threads. Take us with you on any mobile device. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast, T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies. Makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Malson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Malson-Zia. Check it out today and support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're here with the amazing Alex Essoe and Alexis Iacono of the Carnal Soul here on the Mike Wagner Show. And guys, before we talk about the Carnal Soul as well, too, you know, about Bob Gunton as well, too. He's been in Shawshank Redemption and also Demolition Man, Patch, Argo, and Evita. And, you know, tell us, how'd you get this guy to get in your program?
I guess I'll jump right into it. So long story short, Bob and I were friends on Facebook. We've been,
that's the best way to do it.
Reporting each other's work for ages. And when Alex presented me the script, Bob happened to be on my feed, and I looked at all his body of work and everything. And I said, Alex, what do you think about Bob? And she was like, oh my God, like that would be the dream. But, you know, would he do it? Blah, blah, blah.
I mean,
and then right. You know, and then she said she decided to run it by casting director and friend Kelly Roy. And if I'm not mistaken, Alex, you can jump right in. Kelly wound up just casting him in a film. They just worked together, and she's like, you know, I can reach out to him and see what happens.
It was so wild how it came together. I reach out to her for advice sometimes, and I said, you know, I'm doing this thing. I would really love to get this actor. Like, how do I even go about reaching out to someone at his level? Like, do I look up his reps, and are they even going to take me seriously? You know, what do you recommend I do? And she said, oh, we just cast him in something. I'll just reach out to them on your behalf. And I was like, okay. Thank you so much. And you know, Kelly's the best, and she's always taken chances on me, and I really you know, I can't thank her enough. I was so overjoyed when he said yes. I yeah, it was extremely validating for someone like him to read my work and say, I like this. Like, holy shit.
Amazing. Holy
Yeah.
cow.
Yeah, so oh my gosh, my first Zoom meeting with him was so delightful. You know, I'm a really big fan of theater and plays, and I had so many questions for him about his time on Broadway. I mean, there are Hirschfelds of the sky. You know what I mean?
Hirschfeld. Interesting.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just it's an era of acting that I am so fond of. It's you know, and he is such a certain type of actor, you know, born of a certain time in acting, and it's just, you know, there aren't a lot of actors like him.
Mhm.
So
I referred to like the golden age of Hollywood, the method acting, like, you know, that was prevalent back in the day.
not quite the golden age, but it's definitely a very special age. You know, the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Okay, like with Al Pacino and Robert Redford
Yes,
and all those guys.
right.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And Gene Hackman, and you know, he's that, and he works like that, and he's so prepared, and his enthusiasm was so inspiring to me. It really did. You know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I was just excited. It made the whole process feel so smooth to be working with someone as professional as him.
And, you know, just to interject, working with him even on set, like, I mean, everything was just, it just worked out beautifully. We all, it was just from beginning to end, you know, and we've been doing some interviews now, so it's like, it may sound repetitious, but it is true. It was organic magic. It was just beginning to end. There's no particular war story. There was no, I mean, like I tell Alex, next time we may not be so lucky, you know, we might. But for the most part, working working on this working on this project, it was great. This DP, I have to give some shout outs here. The DP, John DeFazio, made the just absolutely beautiful. I mean, I being in on the meetings with Alex and John, you know, Alex would say, well, this is what I would like, and John delivered. He delivered. Everyone delivered. The crafty was delivered. You know, the coffee was good. You know, like
Yes.
it sounds very silly, but
No,
it's
it's
those stupid
incredibly
things.
important.
It is so important. Like I've heard horror stories where they're like, the coffee was terrible and it was just no communication. It was like, no,
or the food sucks. Wrong order, and it's not gluten free.
No, like it sounds really silly, but it's a domino effect of that nature that can really ruin a film. It doesn't matter who's on it, you know.
Especially when it's not like a big budget film. You know, this is a micro budget, like nothing budget little short film that I actually financed myself. And you know, if all of these people were gonna do this project for so little money, the least I could do is give them decent food and coffee.
It all starts with the coffee, right? It all starts with coffee.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely start with coffee. Absolutely.
I have to keep that in mind. Thank you for the reminder.
It sounds really silly, but it really is true.
I mean, yeah. I've seen it happen in real time when crews start to lose morale, you know.
Over coffee, huh? And can I ask you a silly question? What brand of coffee or type of coffee did you have that made it so good?
Cafe Bustelo. I'm Spaniard. I'm a Spanish Italian broad. Are you nuts? Cafe Bustelo. Bustelo coffee.
And I think
you're supposed to pick your hand, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's Italian. So the Bustelo is Spaniard. It's very strong coffee. So real quick, I'll get off my soapbox. While I was in the middle of doing everything else, I wound up picking up another skill set, and I was in not the creative end. I have to make that very clear. I was more in the production end for American Horror Story for the FX department, and I worked with the most brilliant people on the planet. I was part of Roanoke. They won they won the Emmy for it. So I was part of season 6. I experienced that. I was part of the team during season 6. So why I'm saying that is because just 2 days ago, and I'm going to do a shout out to Glenn Eisner, who is the perfect of perfection of molding, and he did the pig faces alongside with everyone else. But in the morning, they would have the lights all shut out, and just so you know who my boss was Heather Langenkamp from Nightmare on Elm Street. She played Nancy.
Wow.
So
okay.
she was, what people don't know is that she's married to David Anderson. Oh my God, if I'm messing up names, God forgive me. I'm sorry. They are my everything. And they were my bosses.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. Oh no. And I didn't, that's a whole other story. I won't get into it. That'll be another, no, I'm serious. That'll be another interview on how I landed this magnificent job. But have that said, the reason why we're going back to the coffee. So just 2 days ago, Glenn congratulated me on social media for the Carnal Soul, because I'm in touch with everyone from that camp. And he mentioned my coffee, because he said, you still to this day made the best coffee for us. And my job was soup to nuts. It was making sure everyone had the materials, making sure, petty cash. Like, I mean, you name it, I was all hands. But it is very funny, but it's true. But he said, oh no, you made the best coffee, because once that coffee was brewing, they were all sitting there for 12 hours with little glasses like this.
Oh my goodness.
Like that. I mean, perfection. I witnessed, and I was part of perfection. And I would like to say they won the Emmy because of my coffee.
I'll have to start buying that coffee from now on. And of course, and what now was it? Now, at least it didn't break your budget in that part. So well, speaking of budgets as well, too, you talk about the micro budget, Alex, as well, too. Were you doing like a GoFundMe or crowd funding or anything like that?
No, I should have. I'm just shy, I guess. I don't know.
Actually, I'm going to fight that. I'm so happy you didn't do that. I did Kickstarter and all that shit.
Yeah, no go.
It honestly, I mean, not for everyone, but it sort of diminishes a little bit. I mean, we're broke today, but it's worth it.
Right. Right, exactly. You gotta have fun what you're doing, and everything else. You're right. So yeah. Okay, and more on the Carnal Soul with the amazing Alex Essoe and Alexis Iacono in just 1 minute. You listen to the Mike Widener Show at the MikeWidenerShow.com, powered by Soundcraft Studios, and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Widener Show, international warring author Mia Mulsonzia Missing. We'll be back with the amazing Alex Essoe and Alexis Iacono of the Carnal Soul after this timeout. We're back, amazing Alex Essoe and Alexis Iacono of the Carnal Soul here on the Mike Widener Show. And it's the movie that does tell the story of Mort, who's played by Bob Gunton, who's in the winter of his life and cannot live with the weight of his regrets. And tell us more about that.
Well, the idea just kind of came to me one day. I was waiting for coverage on a script that I had submitted to this thing, and I was just kind of pacing, and then I was just kind of thinking of stuff that would make me laugh, and this made me laugh a lot. So I sat down and wrote it out and sent it to Alexis. I was like, hey, I just wrote this little thing. What do you think? And things got started pretty quickly after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, Alexis, you want to jump in as well, too. Feel free to do so. Hopefully, Bob will probably jump in sooner or later. Maybe he's listening. Who knows?
Yeah.
Next time, just
Yeah,
so you know,
definitely.
Bob has been traveling and doing a lot of convention signings, but he has been above and beyond supportive on his Facebook page and social media. He's been blasting the film. He has been very verbal. And we're not just saying it. He can vouch for it, from his personal expression to social media expression. He too had a great time on set. We really had a wonderful time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was the other question? Oh, about her writing. No, it was, it was at the time she sent it, it was bare bones. I think if I'm not mistaken, she was in Ireland working on the Pope's Exorcist with Russell Crowe. I think that was it, or like right after or during
Oh,
or
okay.
something.
Oh,
Some
I was working on, it was right after that. I was working on Last Stop in Yuma County. Yeah,
Oh, that was it.
that's
Which
when
is
that happened.
another great movie. Check it
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Ooh,
it's
and she's in it. Oh yeah.
fantastic. I was so happy with
So
that one.
oh yeah, so she sent it to me, and she even in the blurb said, this is, I'm influenced by Larry David, and all these writers, and it's very like I'm stealing her wording, but it is very vaudevillian. It's very I come from, I know we're talking about golden era versus, the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I'm very much a 70s, 80s, 90s cinephile also,
Mhm.
looking for Mr. Goodbar and Eyes Lower
Oh man,
Mars, all these,
yeah,
Clute,
that was tough.
all those movies are
Yeah,
just they impacted my life. But for me, it is the golden era. Maybe it had to do a little bit with Fay Ray, but I do, one of my
yeah,
favorite actors of all time is Jack Lemmon. So for
yes,
me, when I read The Carnal Soul, I was like, this is very Odd Couple.
Oh,
In
I
many,
was I
many
was I was
ways.
just thinking of that, or maybe like Grumpy Old
oh
Men in some
wow,
ways, where it's just like,
Absolutely.
damn,
lives regret the
Absolutely.
torture. He wants to get back at
Oh,
me, hey, I'm sorry, bam,
thank
bam, bam,
you.
like that.
absolutely.
Ah,
Absolutely.
I'm
So
terrified.
so when I so when I read it, even though there was the Larry David aspect in my head, when I read it, I was like, oh, this is
Yeah,
the Odd Couple. This is Neil Simon at its best.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I remember the Odd Couple, especially the
thank
TV
you,
show. I
man.
watched it all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow, that's a huge. It's like, yeah, like Jack
You leave
Lemmon's
little notes on my
Caravan.
pillow. It says signed FU. Who's FU?
What's this piece of paper doing on my autographed Willie Mays or Keith Hernandez
Right.
ball? What the hell is that doing on there?
Right. Well, I have those too. No, I want to believe that I'm not Felix, but I think I am.
or
I
imagine
mean,
now it's just like,
I'm definitely Walter Matthau.
Yeah, well then you and I
You've
should
seen my
talk after
apartment.
we do a show.
Yeah.
or imagine today's ones is like what's this can doing on my autographed Brett Favre jersey? What's that doing on there?
Right, exactly.
Got all those
Exactly.
too somewhere in the vault somewhere. God knows.
Exactly. Or
Hence
it's like, why'd you throw away the Carson Wentz picture when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles? Why'd you do that?
hence
Right.
this is the Super Bowl, one of many. My dad covered 50, 51, 52 out of 55 Super Bowls.
And of course, I'm going to throw this question at you, Alexis. Who do you pick to be in the Super Bowl this year?
Oh gosh, I have no idea.
Oh,
I'm
that's okay.
terrible.
Next time
Have
we have you
no
on, we can talk more about that.
no
That's
clue. No clue. I am my father's daughter, where it's like assignment when it comes. I mean, my dad is retired now, but he's gonna live many longer years, but he's gonna live and die with a camera in his hand.
there you go. I think that's a good thing as well, too. I read Sports Illustrated all the time, and I admire Dad's work. I gotta say that.
No, he didn't do the swimsuit issue.
No, not the
No,
swimsuit. I'm
just
talking about
I'm gonna cut it.
football.
I'm gonna get emails, which I get all the time. No, he didn't. He didn't do the swimsuit. And for all the girls that are thinking it's misogynistic, let me just tell you, it was a girl. It was a woman, Julie Campbell, that created the swimsuit issue.
That is interesting. That's good to
Yeah,
know as well,
and she
too. So
hired a
yeah.
male photographer because men know how to take photos of beautiful women. So there's that.
Mhm. And of course, you know, check out great films and everything like that. In the meantime, where can we find the Carnal Soul and all your other works at?
Well, the Carnal Soul isn't released just yet.
Or where can we find out more about it?
Well, the trailer is online. It's on YouTube. There's an Instagram page as well that you can follow, that Alexis dutifully updates because I'm such a space cadet. Um, so yeah, and where else, Alexis?
Well, right now, and thanks to Deborah, our PR that introduced us to this podcast, our film is currently made its world premiere at the Los Angeles Short Film International Film Festival. It's currently right now at Regal Live Theaters. We had our premiere on Sunday, a very good slot, very good, received very, very well. You can see the Carnal Soul website and subscribe on Instagram at the Carnal Soul. Also, you can follow me at Alexis Iacono. My full name is right there, so you can just spell it out. And I do plugs all the time on it. We just submit. And pretty much that's it right now. As for checking it out, seeing it, not yet. We're right now in development, making this into a series. A few people have approached us already, and we're just in talks right now.
That's amazing. And Alex, where can we find your works at?
That's a very good question. You can go to my IMDb. I have stuff on Netflix, and I think Amazon Prime. Starry Eyes, my very first feature film, was just re-released on Shudder. So I'm really excited about that, because I'm very proud of that film. And yeah, I think that's it.
All right. And Alexis, where can we find more of your works at?
IMDb. Also, you can go and rent. Oh my god.
Blockbuster days. I still miss that.
I just dated myself. That's what I just did.
Or it's at Redbox or Netflix. They have those DVDs when they first started.
Get the beta VHS version of my films. No, for video game stuff, mostly, especially. I mean, I'm also in the Amityville Moon. I'm in the my alarm. I'm in the Amityville Moon. It's a Amityville franchise. It's gosh, you have to look it up. I think it's on Tubi and all those platforms. Offhand, I can't think about it, but it's Amityville Moon. I am in that. I have a few things in the works right now. A lot of video game stuff, World of Warcraft, Cataclysm, Legion. I'm in Oh God, I'm in the new Diablo installment, so you can catch me on there. I'm on IMDb, like I said, social media. I'm also producing a lot, like I said, a documentary on hacking. Also in development with a few things over there. So a lot of things I wish I could talk about, but I can't.
Oh, that's perfectly okay. We'll have you on next time and talk more about that along with your other projects. We're here with the amazing Alex Essoe and Alexis Iacono of the Carnal Soul here on the Mike Wagner Show. Guys, what else can we expect from you in 2024 and beyond?
You know, I've spent a lot of years writing and developing things, so I definitely have other projects that I want to pursue and develop. I do have a couple acting projects coming up that I can't talk about yet. Really look forward to be able to. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's. Oh, over the strike, my friends and I started a doom metal band, so we may put something on Spotify or something.
Oh, nice. Okay, looking forward to that as well. And Alexis, what do you got come up in 2024 and beyond?
Like I said, right now in development with some stuff, a few things I unfortunately can't talk about. Mostly it is producing, but right now I'm in full throttle pushing this short film and getting into other festivals and hopefully getting accepted to Europe and traveling overseas. I wouldn't mind doing that a little bit.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Oh, that would be nice too. Yes, maybe pick up a camera and take some shots at the NFL in England, London, or even when the Jaguars play. They seem to play in London like every single year. So
Yeah, well, I mean, I got my Nikon, so my father and I are die-hard dedicated Nikon, photographers. So yes, I'll be taking my Nikon hopefully to Europe, and cross fingers. We'll keep everyone posted. But yeah, I mean, I'm all over the socials. I'm very private, but also an open book. So ask me anything and reach out to me. But right now, a lot of things are in development and works, and a few things I unfortunately can't talk about.
That's no problem. We'll certainly look forward to that. And who you consider your biggest influences in your career, Alex?
John Cassavetes, full stop. He's my favorite film director. And his wife, Jenna Rollins, is my favorite actress. I feel like she has set the bar extremely high, and very few have been able to achieve what she has.
Oh my gosh. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, there again, so many influences. Jim Henson.
One of my favorites. Yes, the Muppets. One of my favorites.
Yeah, absolutely. Big influence. Especially when I grew up and actually got some more of the references that they would make.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. That's a really good thing. And Alexis, who are your biggest influences?
Well, going back to the Jack Lemmon, going back to that, and seeing films by George Cukor, Gaslight, going all the way back to that, to even Cassavetes. And Alex already knows this story, but I actually I spotted Cassavetes on a plane when I was a little girl, and I had a nice little conversation with him, and that's a whole other interview that I won't get into now. So huge influence is also Cassavetes, that freestyle directing that actually I see a lot of Alex. And so she definitely picked that up. But I mean, it's such a hard question to ask, because you are talking to two cinephiles, where it's like, it's such a huge variety. It's one of my touching movies that I can't stop crying when I see is Cinema Paradiso. So once you hear that score, I'm done. Then my go-to movie is, believe it or not, oh God, just I put it on the other day, Hitchcock. So it's just this weird variety. It's very difficult, and Clute is now on Tubi, so it's like,
oh,
I'm not going
nice.
to watch that at night. I'm going to watch that during the day, and then yesterday, out of nowhere, at the umpteenth time, I put on Step Brothers, so it's like, whatever I feel, what she mentions, Wayne's World, and now it's like, oh yeah, I need to see that again. So it's smart influences me. Good cinema influences me. I've always been educated with cinema, and my mom always used to take me to the movies, and like going, even honestly, not being biased, I mean, Shawshank Redemption is on every Thanksgiving, holiday, Christmas, and my goodness, not even me, but every person you ask, as soon as that movie comes on, everyone watches it.
Oh yeah, I know a lot of those movies. So gather around, eat your turkey or whatever, and go watch it. That's the best thing. And what's the best advice you guys can give to anybody at this point, Alex?
Oh, gosh, it's worth beating your head against the wall over. There are a lot of facets to the creative process, but you kind of have to be in love with all of it. And yeah, watch movies. Watch all the movies that you can watch. Look for movies that you haven't seen before and may not normally be interested in, because you never know. Things come through.
You never know, indeed, too. And what's the best advice you can give, Alexis?
Just try to surround yourself that have like-minded minds, that understand cinema, that really are, I mean, it's good to have that business sense that is so important, but we're here to make film. We're here to make people laugh, make people cry, and find that crowd. It is very difficult, because there are a lot of people that say yes, they know how to do it. They talk a big game, and look, I get it. We're in an industry where we're in the world of opportunists.
Right.
People want to say yes, but I've learned. I've been involved with people that have meant so well, but you know, they didn't know what they were doing, and it's a snowball effect. So if you don't know what you're doing, don't get involved in it. It's I'd rather hear no. I'm very brutally honest. There are a lot of things I don't know, and I'll be upfront. But don't waste people's time. That's my advice.
Mhm.
Just don't waste people's time. If you can't do it, then say it. If you need help with something, or you want to do it, but you're green in certain areas, be upfront. There's room for everybody, but just don't waste people's time. Know your work, know your craft, understand people, listen and learn. I should practice what I preach sometime. I could go on forever. I'm Italian. But in all seriousness, know your movies, and not to sound like a dick, but know your place.
Right, and I think that's great advice as well. With the amazing Alex Essoe and Alexis Iacono of the Carnal Soul here on the Mike Wagner Show. Guys, a very big thank you for your time. You've been both amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'd love to have you back. And once again, what are your websites for your projects? And what are your websites? How do people contact you? And where can people check out your works? And especially the Carnal Soul.
Oh, so you can find me at Alex Essoe on Instagram. It's the only social media I really use. You can follow the Carnal Soul's Instagram as well, at the Carnal Soul. And yeah, I think there's more.
Same thing. Yeah, Instagram, Alexis Iacono. I'm not really Facebook. It automatically
we are
goes
going
there.
to be, our website is going to be launched very soon, so you'll be able to go there and see it there as well.
Okay,
but right now, just go to Instagram, Carnal Soul, and you'll find all the updates on there.
Okay, we'll certainly check that out, guys. Once again, a very big thank you for your time. You guys are amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'd love to have you back. We wish you all the best. And guys, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.